Welcome back to another video, and I wanted to bring you guys another story time. I had a lot of fun doing my other one of why I'm going to college and why I stopped working at that other factory. You should go watch it if you didn't. And this is the one about the time I almost got scammed by an illegal alien. So an illegal alien, someone who's not from this country legally, and so I was trying to sell my car, right? I had a 2010 Accord. It was gold. I'll put a picture of it right now if I remember. It was a four-door sedan. It was like a bigger sedan, and I did not like the body style of it, and the color, like the color was gold, obviously. And I don't like the gold color, so I ended up buying a new car. It was a 2017 Accord Sport. No, not Accord Sport. It was an Accord EXL, which is above the Sport model. I wanted a Sport to begin with because the rims were nice. I'm a big Honda guy, but I wanted like some cool rims. But I got the EXL, which is like the top model or whatever. So I paid like $12,500 for that cash because I don't like payments. I don't like to worry about that. So I gave him 12.5. He was a cool dude. He smogged it for us. He made sure everything was good. The car was giving me no problems whatsoever. It got like 71,000 miles on it. I made a video about it. It's on the channel. So I wanted a nicer looking car. The 2010 had no problems with it or whatever. Nothing at all. It ran good. Never gave me any trouble. I just hated the way it looked. It was the base model. It was the LX, so like it had like cloth interior. It didn't have Bluetooth. I had to buy like a little like Bluetooth connector to actually connect my phone with Bluetooth. It was a good car. It got me to everywhere I needed to be. I just hated the way it looked. So I bought my 2017 Accord. I'm all happy about it. And then my bank account was looking real light. There's like not much in there. So I'm like, I gotta sell this 2010 Accord so I can pay for this 2017, right? So I put my Accord on a offer up Facebook Marketplace, and I get hella people, right? My phone's being blown up. I'm not used to that. At least like what in the first hour, at least 20 people, right? And at the time, we couldn't like sell it because we still had to smog it. So we waited the next day and we got it all smogged and everything, and it was good to go. So, but like the next day, I'm like, I was thinking I need to sell this car. I need the money from it. So I paid 6,700 for it. Maybe not even kidding you, a year ago, right? And the car it served its purpose. I got the money out of it. And you know what? I'm like, I'm gonna sell this shit. I want it to sell quick. So I put it on the marketplace for what, 5K. Hella people will all give you 45. No, I'm sticking firm, 5,000, right? And people would say, I'll give you the 5,000. I just gotta look at it. I'm like, for sure, come look at it. And so it was one of the days I worked, right? So I couldn't show them the car until like after 5, and that was okay. Yeah, people were willing to wait. I had hella people wanting to come in. So there was this one guy though. He was texting me. He claimed he was from Salinas. This is the illegal alien I was talking about in the beginning. This guy claimed he was from Salinas, right? And I'm alright, cool. If you want to come see the car, you could come see it, but I'm not gonna hold it for you because if other people want it, I'm gonna give it to someone else. They have the cash. And then he tells me, man, I got the cash for you right now, man. No, before that, before he lowballs me, he offers me 4,500, and I tell him, man, I see you have like a big ass trailer in your like, not a trailer, a semi truck in your profile picture, because he hit me up on Facebook Marketplace, and I told him, you own a semi truck, you have the money, give me my 5K and come get the car, and we agree. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna head over from Salinas. It's like a 3 or 4 hour drive. Can you wait for me and not show it to anyone else? Because I'm actually gonna buy it. Keep in mind, this is all in Spanish. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'll wait for you since you're actually coming 3 or 4 hours, at least to see it. And this time I had people hitting on my phone. This one guy, I don't want to say where I'm from, but this one guy's like, yeah, I'm literally like a couple miles away. Let me go see it, man. Let me go see it. And I'm like, nah, man, I can't. I promised this guy that he's going to come buy it because he has the cash. And he actually sent me like a picture of the cash. I'm like, nah, man, I can't. He's, oh, let me just see it. He was telling me, I'm like, can't, man. Because like with me, you can have your word. If you're actually coming 3 4 hours away to actually see a car, I'm actually going to have the car ready for you. Because if the other guy saw it, you probably would have bought it on the spot. Because it was a pretty good deal. It was a 2010. It was a little older, but it had low miles. It had like 101,000 miles on it at the time I sold it. So it was a good deal for 5K. A little 4-cylinder gas saver. It was a good deal. And the guy's like, yeah, let me see it. I'm like, nah, man. If you don't buy it, I'll let you see it. You're up next in line. And so the illegal alien, I still have the chats. I don't know if I should put him up. I'm just calling him the illegal alien. I don't want to like say his name or whatever. So he comes to see it, and at this point I'm thinking, you better buy it because you made me waste all this time, right, showing it to you, because we had to wait for him, and it was the days I had to work. So we show it to him. He comes in. When I first see him, I'm like, I don't think too much of him. typical illegal alien. How would I? Let me see if I can describe him. So he was chubby. He came with his, well, what he said it was his brother, but I don't even know anymore. His man told me so many lies, right? He came. He was chubby, short, and like real brown, like barely spoke English. Keep in mind, I'm Latino myself, so I ain't gonna judge you. Dude, I've seen like hella people like that are good dudes, but he wasn't a good dude. So I'm like, yeah, what's up, man? Like in Spanish, like, ¿Cómo estás? How you doing? I'm like, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm doing good, man. So this is the car. I'm like, this is the car, right? And so the car was good. It looked good. Other than the color and the paint job, I hated the gold. And it turns out the day before, I think my dad was washing it. He went to like to a car wash, right? And he like the car didn't have rims; it had hubcaps. I'll put a picture if I remember. And my car, like my dad, he dented one of the hubcaps. I'm like, Dad, what the hell you do this? And he's like, oh, hopefully he won't notice. But my car, he parked it at an angle, so you couldn't notice the hubcap or whatever. And so the guy's looking at it. He's like, yeah, it looks good, but keep in mind, this car I did not care about it. So like I would wash it, not even like wipe it down with a towel, or it would get wet, and it would get water stains. And he's like, oh, it has all these water stains, man. I'm like, yeah, it's an 11-year-old car, and you're getting it for a discounted ass price. What do you want? He's like, yeah, man, I'll give you 49. And I'm like, at this point, I don't even care. I just want the money out of it to help pay for my other car. If I get the 5K 49, my other car will only be like 7,500, and I'm like completely happy paying 7,500 for that car. So I'm like, just give me the money. Keep in mind, at this time I'm nervous as hell. When I go buy a car or whatever, I'm nervous because I'm thinking, what if they pull out a gun? So I had my thing on me too. I had my thing on. That's all I'm saying. And he pulls out the bills, and I'm like, I'm trying to check them, be sure they're good. There should be 49 of them. I triple count them, and they all look good. 49 $100 bills. I'm like, before he took the money out, we took it on a test drive, right? And this shit just scares the hell out of me because I'm real like, I don't know if the word's paranoid or careful. He took it on a ride. I'm like, this man could be taking us somewhere. I'm like, I don't know. I just want to get the hell out of the car, right? Turns out he liked the car. He didn't take us somewhere to kill us, which was good. He liked the car. He's like, I'll give you 49. I'm like, just give me the money. It's just bothering me just looking at it. So he gave me 49 $100 bills. Count them all. They're all there, right? And then we're doing I don't know if it's called a change of title or whatever, where we're signing the pink slip to his name. Keep in mind, I'm not familiar with calls whatsoever. I'm like a computer guy at heart, like cars. If I have any trouble, I'll ask my dad. And if you don't know, I'll ask my mechanic. I'm more than willing to, like, I'm happy to pay a price because I don't mess with cars. So they're doing the transfer of the title, I guess. And we give them all the information, right? We give them our name. It's under my dad's name because I pay lower insurance that way. So he puts his name or whatever. He's like, hey, man, can you do me a favor? Say we sold it to you for a lower price so you don't have to pay so much. I think it's insurance or I don't know. If you say you sold it at a lower price, you pay less. I just don't know what. And he's like, yeah, man, we'll say you sold it for $2K. At this point, he was still cool with us. He hasn't been dishonest yet. He's like, all right, cool, thanks, man. And then at this point, it starts to get like a little iffy though. He's asked us for the car registration, and I'm like, what the hell you need the car registration for? I don't know shit about selling cars, but I Google it, and like the new driver does not need it. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. And we don't give him that. I'm like, I ain't about to give you the car registration. And then we're trying to, I think it's called the release of liability, saying we sold the car to him, right? And so we have to put it under his name, and we're trying to get his information, right? This should have been a red flag. So like with us, we don't really judge you. If you seem like an honest dude, we'll sell you the car, we'll give you a deal, right? So we're trying to get his information. And then I'm like, oh man, what's your ID so I could see it's all your information, right? This man puts out a Mexican identification. I shit you not, a Mexican ID. They call like micas, I think, in Spanish. I'm like, that's a red flag. I'm like, we're gonna need to see a real ID, man. We don't know if that's actually you. And he's like, oh, that's all I got, man. He's like, you don't trust me? I'm like, hell no, I don't trust you. But my dad's like, go for it. I'm like, all right, whatever. It ain't my problem. I got my money. The car's under your name, right? So we get his ID, and the picture of him, it's an actual picture of him. It's a picture ID, but it's from Mexico. And like his photo, it's actually him and his name, right? I should say his name for what he did. I should say his name, but I ain't going to. All right. So we get it. We write it down. The release of liability. And then me and my dad were on the way home. What I do, I like to like drive around, make sure you're not following us, because I'm real paranoid. So I drive around for like 10, 15 minutes. We get home, and then dad's like, my dad's like, man, he's like, why'd you ask for the registration of the car? What could this man be up to, right? And then I'm like, I don't know, man. But you know what's weird? I checked his profile on Facebook, and it's a whole different name from the ID he gave us. So I'm like, that is weird. So then my dad, he's kind of paranoid too. He's like, yeah, man, because for the release of liability, I learned you have to send it in or either like register it online through the DMV. So I went onto the DMV website and I put his information and I said we sold it and everything. And that like eased their nerves a little bit because the car technically wasn't our responsibility, but it turns out the name he gave us was fake. Or I think it was his real name, but since he's illegal, he's going by a different name in the States. So I think that's what happened. So we put that under his name, his actual real name, but it's not the name he goes by in the United States because he's illegal. We go by that, right? We put it into the DMV, and after that, we actually even send the release of liability physically to be even more safe, right? And then we're feeling good. And then like something in me was like, this man's trying to pull something on us, right? So maybe I think it was like a Labor Day weekend or something. I know the next Monday, it might have been Columbus Day. The next Monday, you couldn't go to the DMV because they were closed. So you legally have to think it's like a week to like change it over, like 7 to 10 days to change it over, right? Some time goes by, I let it go because I ain't about to be worrying about that. I got other things to worry about. And then some time goes by, and I ask him, hey man, have you changed the title to your name, right? And he's like, oh no, it's all taken care for, but in Spanish. And I'm like, all right, I think he's lying to me. Something about me, my gut feels like he's lying, right? I'm like, oh, so you changed your name, right? And I told him, because if you don't change it, anything happens, it's on you. And then he's like, yeah, it's all taken care of, right? And then I like tell him, hey man, if you haven't changed your name, that shit's gonna be on you. And we're gonna go file a police report with your name. So if anything happens, that's you. And you could be losing your citizenship and you can get your ass packed up and go back to Mexico, right? This one, he blocks me. That blocked me too. I'm over here almost threatening him. But still, I don't think he changed it, right? So then I get on because this is all going on through Facebook Messenger, through the marketplace. I get on my sister's phone. I'm still on his ass. I'm telling him, man, if anything happens, we're filing a police report with your name. And before he blocked me, like I said, I'm real paranoid. So I screenshotted everything about him. I know his family. I have all his profile pictures. I found out his real name. I traced him down. Turns out he doesn't live in Salinas. I'm not gonna say how I did it, but I did it. And then I told him, man, so what's your real name? Is it this or is it this? And I actually put it in the chat. And then and then he blocked me again on my sister's account. So I got on my mom's phone and I tell him, man, have you changed that shit? And then so he finally starts complying because he realized I have all his information. And so he was like, yeah, what's a good number to call you? I'm like, what do you need to call me for? Just change it over to your name. And so my sister gives him my phone number. I'm at work, right? And what we were just trying to work is I'm kind of like pissed, right? Because like you should have changed it. You probably didn't. And so I get a call. So I step into the bathroom, right? And he's over here telling me like, hey man, were you the one threatening me, man? I'm like, yeah, I was threatening you. You haven't changed shit to your name, have you? And he's like, yeah, man, it's all taken care of. And I bought it. He said he bought it for a guy and sold it to one of his friends. And if I'm not mistaken, that's called title jumping. So you don't got to pay the fees. You don't put it in your name. You sell it directly to the other person. That's something he did. So he said he sold it. First he bought it for his sister, supposedly. And then he bought it for his brother. And then he bought it for his friend. And I told him, I don't care who you bought it for. All I care is that car is not under our name anymore, I told him. He's like, oh man, it's all taken care of. You don't got to worry. I said, until I see the new registration, I'm going to be worried. And I'm going to be on your ass. And if anything happens, it's still on you. And so I screenshotted one of his profile pics where he's like holding his little like peace sign up. And I'm like, peace. So I sent it to him. I'm like, peace. Send it to me or I'm still going to be on your ass. And then I sent him both his names again. I'm like, which one are you? And at this point, he feels threatened. I know he does. And then maybe an hour or two goes by. I get a picture with the registration on it. But I was happy because it was finally switched over to him out of our name, right? But then my sister takes a closer look. And the day I called him was like October 23rd. And the registration was switched over October 23rd. So that means this sack of shit didn't change it over until I threatened him. Or until I asked him nicely, because I'm such a nice person. I asked him, and he didn't switch it over until that day. So this man was just driving the car under my dad's name. He got like when you go through like a toll, they don't charge you, they charge your plate, right? So we got a paper through the mail that also we were also nervous because of that, right? And so it turns out this whole time he was trying to get the registration from us, just so he could say that car was under his name because he has a registration, so he's good, right? Turns out he didn't change it over until like 12, 13 days passed, only because I pressed his ass. So this whole time he was just driving it under someone else's name. If he gets a ticket, he'd kill somebody. They're gonna go after my dad because this second shit didn't do it right. I'm pissed off. I'm about to put his picture in this shit. God, I'm mad. I should actually put his picture. Fat little Mexican dude, man. Dishonest as hell. I was raised to like trust, to like not think everyone's a bad person, right? I'm slowly starting to change that. I don't trust nobody. I was straight up getting. If he got deported, I would not care, man. I honestly didn't. Like, until he showed me that picture, and even when he showed me the new registration, I'm getting a call. When he showed me the new registration, I was like finally happy. But I'm like, why did you change it? Why did you wait till a lot to change shit? You had some other plans in mind, right? You were gonna drive this shit, and if you got it impounded, we were gonna pay the fees. If you killed someone, it was gonna be on us, right? He didn't give a shit about us. Why should we give a shit about him? So like, we still follow the police report. If anything happens, it's documented under his name. If he gets deported, I don't care, man. Honestly, my karma's bad. I don't care. But this is a story how I almost got scammed by an illegal alien, right? He thought he had me. After we sold the car, and after I hit him up again, he blocked me on Facebook, man. Oh, he's like, he thought he got rid of me, right? You ain't about to get rid of me that easy. Then I got on my sister's phone, got on his ass again, blocked me again. Then I got on my mom's phone, got on his ass again, and he finally did it. But it took him 13, 14 days to finally change it over. And I'm never doing that shit again. So it turns, I screwed up. I don't know shit about cars. Neither does my dad, pretty much. So it turns out when you sell a vehicle, you're supposed to go to the DMV or like to your insurance, and they'll switch it over. So I didn't know about that. It's my mistake. Next time I sell a car, I'm gonna do that. But this is the time I almost got scammed by an illegal alien. I'm so threatened to put his picture in this shit. I'll cut his face off, right? But I have all the screenshots. I'm about to put his picture in this. Just screw him.